Good morning, everybody. Hey, how's it going? Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Looking at the Nasdaq here. Got our Nasdaq charts up. Just getting oriented. Just sat down. Hope everybody's having a good morning so far. Hope you got your coffee mugs filled up. Ready to take a look at this. If you're a meditator, I know some of you are. Hope you got your meditation in this morning. Today should be an interesting day, I think. What's up, Austin? Hey, Ken. Hey, Zero. Good morning. MD Trading. Good morning, man. Thanks for joining us. Before I start getting into it, Lilu emailed me. They emailed me a discount code if anybody's interested in doing one of these evaluations with a prop firm. They gave me $38 for their Lilu Express evaluation. So I'll just pass that along to you guys. I'll give you the code here. I'm not promoting Lilu. I have nothing to do with Lilu. I'm just passing this coupon on. Lilu Express for $38. I think it's only valid for, only valid for today. Why did I do that? Lilu Express, $38. Sorry, I was typing something. I tried to paste in coupon code, and instead it pasted in a whole paragraph of text, which you guys probably do not want to read. So if you're shopping around for one of these evaluations, you know, you can try doing that coupon code. I will say the Lilu Express, those 100K ones are not the best ones to do, but it's pretty cheap for 38 bucks. I did a whole video on these online prop firms and recommended which evaluation people should go for. The 100K, the 250K, those ones look really shiny and nice, and you're like, oh, I'm such a good trader. I'm definitely going to pass that one. But they're the worst deal for you, for traders. They're just gimmicks. People get lured into those shiny things of, you know, I'm gonna pass the hardest one because I'm so good. It'll be so good for me, such a challenge, and then I'll have a huge account. The number they throw up on there, the 250K, the 100K, that's all BS. Don't look at that. That's not true. That's just a number they throw at you. You want to look at how many contracts they give you to trade, but more importantly, you want to look at the trailing drawdown that you have. That's the biggest thing. And so, like for the 100K, these 100K challenges, they give you $3,000 in drawdown with a $6,000 profit goal. But if you do the 50K challenge, you only have a $3,000 profit goal with a $2,500 drawdown. So the 50K one's the best one to do. But, you know, if you're looking to, you know, maybe practice and just get some data or get your feet wet in trading, the Lilu Express for 40 bucks is a pretty good deal. But I will not be signing up for it, but I wanted to pass that on to anybody else who would like to participate in that coupon. I'd like to pass along any savings that anybody throws my way and let you guys decide how you would like, what you would like to do with it. Let's see here. Let's look at the daily Nasdaq. Let's pull it up, baby. All right. So one interesting thing I'm going to note right off the bat. Oh, the other thing I'll say is I watched some of my last night I was watching some of my previous live streams. And man, I need to work on some stuff. I need to work on my live streaming. I get all over the place a little bit, kind of like this. I start a thought and then I jump into another thought. So I need to stay more focused. And I also learned a few things about my trading watching those, which I haven't watched in a while. I really should. I really need to execute my trade plans way better. Usually my trade plan sounds great. And then the market opens, price starts chopping around. I can tell that I'm getting antsy looking to get into a trade, and I end up taking some bad trade, you know, not following the plan, and then everything gets screwed up. So what I should do is set my plan to begin with, try to execute that plan until that plan is no longer valid, and then come up with another plan. And if it needs to be a scalping plan, that's fine, but don't throw out the original plan in the first 15 minutes because it hasn't set up quite properly yet. Anyways, that's my 2 cents. Now I'm going to follow my own advice and try to stay a little more focused on this pre-market analysis for you guys. So let's look at what happened. We actually had a gap down last night. You can see where it opened. Right here, we opened there, closed here. We got this gap down. I'm not particularly concerned about it, but it is something that needs to be noted. And you know, it may want to pull back from here, but I do think it's got this 13,000 level in its sights. And I would not be surprised if today we screamed up to 13,000. You know, it's about 400 points away from where we're at right now. But that's not that crazy of a range for it. I mean, here on whatever day this was, Tuesday, Wednesday, I can't remember. We moved about 400 points right there. You know, this is 400 point day over here, another 400 point day plus over here, another 400 plus day over here. I mean, I think this is where it wants to go before it really finds any sort of significant resistance. And typically what will happen with prices is they will explode to areas of support and resistance. I mean, they'll really move there. People, you know, it knows where it wants to go and it'll get there. So if if you're looking for a spot to take profit or where it may find some resistance, I think it's going to be up here at 13,000. You know, maybe even there's a couple right there. You know, this zone right here, 12,930 up to 13,000, and that's 70 points. But around that area, I would be, you know, closing out of positions, looking to take profit. And just being more overly cautious, and you'll probably start to see momentum die down up around that spot. That would be, you know, around the daily range for it to move up to that, plus, you know, significant level of resistance. It's Friday. You know, that's just my 2 cents on it. We can also see a couple touches over here on it, some support on it over here, you know, here. So for me, that's a big area. See if price wants to get up there today. We did have that gap down. So that's something to be noted, I will say. You know, we got this supporting channel right there on the way up. We have this long down channel that we've been in for gosh knows how long, and we can draw that back out like that. Lots of touches on the bottom here. Very valid trend line on the downside. If this thing did want to come back down and test new lows again at some point, yeah, you definitely want to have this trend line up on your chart to make sure that's where you're going to be taking profit at. All right, so we looked at the daily there. We got the gap down. Nice bullish candle though from yesterday, closed near the high. Looks very strong here. You know, keep moving higher, higher, higher. Today's Friday. I don't see anything particularly in the news. I don't see anything particularly in the news that would, you know, I think influence the market. Yeah, Biden's got COVID, but I don't think I think the market's kind of shrugging that off. All right, so let's look at the 60-minute. Actually, I'll look at the 4-hour real quick. Sorry. I want to look at the daily, then I want to look at the 4-hour briefly. On the 4-hour, we can see we've got some room up here to 12,720. I'm really looking for an area of support that I can get in on a buy, on a long. I think that's going to be the best bet for today. You know, we've got some support down here where found some stuff. Where's it? 12,400. It's 200 points away. Some more support here. It already seems like it's making that next leg up, doesn't it? But I don't know. Let's look at the hourly. So this is that support level I drew out on the 4-hour. Kind of looking for areas of confluence now from those higher time frame levels down as I move down to lower time frames. We can see we've got this low volume node here on the weekly volume profile. This is a weekly volume profile. If you don't know which volume profiles, you can look up in the upper left-hand corner. I think I've labeled all of them. This is an hourly chart and a weekly volume profile, which is what you're seeing here. It's a histogram of trading activity at each price level. Low volume nodes are areas of little interest, and those typically act as support and resistance. And then the higher volume nodes are kind of more accepted prices where we've got a lot of activity and traders seem more interested at those prices. But for me, I'm more interested in the low volume nodes because I'm really looking for areas of support and resistance. And then, you know, you can let price glide through higher volume nodes. At least that's how I trade it. Some people may trade it other ways, but that's just how I see it. But again, I'm more interested in LVNs acting as support and resistance areas. I also like these Bollinger Bands on the hourly. We can see here we've got a big level right here. We've got the I hope these come through on your screen. They're actually kind of faint even on mine, but we have VWAP, which is this green line right here, and then we've got the 20 SMA, and those come right together right there. That big area of confluence, probably support, resistance. We've also got another big area down here. This is a very similar setup. Well, it is not, actually. I shouldn't say that. Yesterday on the open, we had a very nice pullback. It was like this. It was just beautiful. And then you could just, buy the break to the upside as it broke the 20 SMA. I can't remember if that was yesterday or the day before. I'm getting my days mixed up here. But anyways, that's what I kind of was hoping I'd see this morning was, a lot of buying and then, weaker selling back into a level of support, which for me would be the bottom of the band on the 1 hour. But, we came into this LVN that looked like it should have dropped on this candle. We closed below the 20 SMA. And it looked like it should have rolled down to this area, and we didn't. It's just come up higher. We're now at the top of the band on the 1 hour. I think it's up a little too high to be buying it and expect with the expectation that it wouldn't want to roll down. My buy zone for this thing would be down here in this area, which would be the bottom of the band with the support area and this LVN ledge, 12,500-ish level. That would be a pretty good buy zone, I think, with the expectation that we would move back up. I don't feel like this volume profile is complete. I said this yesterday. I feel like it's got more room to the upside. So I am bullish on it. I'm looking to get a good price. I know a lot of people yesterday got burned trying to buy it up, and then they couldn't withstand the drawdown. So you got to make sure you're getting in at a good price on this thing and not getting in too high and having to withstand a ton of drawdown. Again, we can see this kind of support level, this little up channel that it's in. And if it moves without you, it moves without you. And that's just going to be life, But I'd rather have it move without me than have a $5,000 loss on the day because I'm just impatient, which I was a little bit yesterday too, I think. It's just human nature, It's like you're like, it's moving up, it's moving up, it's moving up. And you jump in and then it's like, it's rolling over, it's pulling back. And then it comes down to that level that you thought it was going to come to get in at support. And you just miss the move. So again, I can see this channel that we're in right here moving up. So we're kind of right in the middle of that channel. It's not a place you want to go long or short at. Again, I think down here, 12,500-ish level. You could take half size down here as we touch the support, maybe add to it at 500 and put your stop at like 83. With the expectation that if it got through all of this, the weekly point of control, I think it also comes into play on Fridays. So, if it got through this support level, all this stuff, I think it would come down to 450. And then you might see a bounce or even all the way down to 400 before it hits this LVN. And so in something like that, if it just started breaking down structure, breaking down support levels, but you still wanted to try to find a long on it, you would just wait for something like this to form. You draw, your silly little counter trend line. I don't call it silly. I just talk about it all the time, and it's so simple. Everybody tries to overcomplicate it. It's just you draw your bearish structure down to a level of support, and then once this structure breaks, I'm losing my screen here. Once the structure breaks, you look at cumulative delta. You like to see cumulative delta also turning bullish. And then you buy it to the upside, put your stop below, and then take profit. Now, that's obviously easier said than done because we're humans, and we sometimes can't control our emotions, and our emotions get the better of us. But that's something I'd be looking for, buying it up here at the top of the band, buying it right now saying, oh, we're going to break pre-market highs and move up. We might, and that seems like what it wants to do. It seems like it wants to break this pre-market high and move up into here, 750. But if you bought it right now, I think you might have to ignore some drawdown down here. But if you bought it down here and held it for up here, that's 250 points almost with a 30-point stop loss, 25-point stop loss. So that would be a pretty fantastic trade, I think, if you can control your emotions and be prepared that it might just move without you. So That's my 2 cents. I haven't looked at the chat yet. What's up, guys? Hey, Nico, my man. Thank you. I appreciate the I don't know what to call it. The tip? Is it a tip? I don't know. I don't know what to call it. The contribution to the channel. I really appreciate that, man. Thanks. Every morning Nico's helping me out. So that's really nice of you. Thank you, sir. Morning, Ken. Morning, Austin, MD. Major Dave, good morning. Major Dave sent me some really good meditation. Major Dave, I did check him out. I can't remember, his name's escaping me. Let's see. Don't be a lobster. Clarify. That's pretty good, man. I like this guy. So I'm really into meditation. I talk about meditation a lot on the channel. Not a lot, but occasionally into meditation. I'm not really into it. I'm having to back step here on that. I'm not really into it. I do meditate every day, and I've been getting a lot more into it over the last couple of years. But it's really helped with not only my trading, but with just my life in general. Like having just, you know, more calmness, more mental clarity, enjoying things more. And one of the kind of tenets, or one of the main themes in a lot of meditation or Buddhism philosophy, is emptiness, nothingness. And it's like within emptiness, you can find everything. And so Major Dave sent me a really interesting video of someone. Gosh, I'm not finding his name. I'm actually looking at the video right now, and I cannot find his name. What's his name, Major Dave? It's not showing me in the video that you sent me. I'm not seeing it. Sam Vaknin. Nothingness. I like that. There was another emptiness video that I watched on the YouTube by a guy named George Thompson, I think, who went to like China and like lived on a mountain for like a year during COVID, and he really got into Taoism. But Taoism and Buddhism, I think, share a lot of the same kind of principles. And he had a really good take on emptiness, and it's all interesting stuff. Exploring the mind a little bit more. What's up, SW Blaze Zero? We can talk about meditation more. I could go on for hours about it. What's up, Vernon? Hey, Zero, SW Blaze. I already say good morning to you. Flash Services PMI at 845 Central is showing as important at Forex Factory. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's coming out at 845. It's showing as medium importance, but I think anything that's PMI might spike the markets around. So we've got some PMI stuff coming out at 845. Thank you. I appreciate you pointing that out. 845, some PMI. So if you're in a position around 844 and all of a sudden you get stopped out on a spike and you're wondering why, that is why. I would probably try to be flat around 845. I may also not do anything, but thank you. Yep, thanks everybody. STR, thank you, sir. Jeff, good morning. Rocket, Stock Fox, good morning. It's Dave. What's up, man? Hey, Austin, I already said good morning, but I'll say it again. Ron, good morning. Good morning, Justin. Thank you for buying me. Yeah, Nico, I appreciate that. I appreciate the call. I can never have too much coffee. I drink too much coffee. I drink a whole pot of coffee every morning, which is not probably healthy for me. Psychonauts. Yep. Jeff, can you share that video? Yeah, man, I sure can. I can definitely share the emptiness video. I'll try to share with you George. Here we go. Here's the emptiness guy. Or nothingness. He's more nothingness. Nothingness. And then emptiness. Try to find markets open. Thank you. Again, my trading plan right now is to wait for this pullback down into 12,500. So this is my buy zone down here. I'm not really going to touch it up at this price. I talked about this when we first started the live stream. It's up too high for me right here. I think it may be targeting, you know, this next leg up, 12,750 up here at the top of this channel, but I ain't buying it here on the open because it could just roll down to this support area. But this down here is really where you probably get a good price on it, and more importantly, you get a tight stop on it. You know exactly that you know exactly where to put your stop on this. It's going to be right below here, back into this high volume node. As this supporting trend line breaks, the bottom of the band breaks, all that breaks, it's like it's going down. So your stop is going to be somewhere around 83. You can get in around, you can get anywhere from 520 down to 500. I would maybe take half a position at 520, add to it at 500, and then you get stopped out at 80. But even if you got stopped out, it's still a great trade because your take profit is up here at 750. You got a 250 point profit for only a 20 point stop loss. So that's a really nice trade setup. Look at Delta tanking there. So I'm just watching it. I watched my whatchamacallit, live trades from the other day, from this week, and I just don't execute my plans very well, and it's frustrating because I feel like I come in, I have a good analysis, I have a good read on the market, and when the market opens, I just start shooting from the hip, and that's just not a good way to trade. Like yesterday, I was down $1,500 because I was shooting from the hip. Here's the emptiness video by George Thompson if you're interested in that. I thought he's interesting. Another guy I'm listening to is Joseph Goldstein, who runs the Insight Meditation Institute, which is up in New York, and he's got a whole bunch of Dharma talks that are available. He's an interesting guy. Again, I'm looking for 5. I'm looking for a price move down here. It could find some support on VWAP. You might be able to take a buy at 96 as this support breaks and take a scalp up, but I'm not touching it. Again, we're just trying to execute our trade plan until our trade plan is no longer valid, and I would say it's no longer valid if price broke this high, broke pre-market high, and price started to move up, started to make higher highs above this level, then this trade would no longer be valid. Buying down here would no longer be valid, and you'd probably, I would probably then be looking to scalp it on the way up, and not hold it. I say scalp it, but maybe try to hold it. I don't know. I'd have to see how the structure forms. I can just see the bands here on the 1 hour just kind of pinch, flattening out. Seems like it may want to come down to that level. Then I'd buy a couple contracts here, and then I'd probably buy a couple more here, and then I'd get stop out down there. And take my tears, can them, drink them tomorrow for breakfast. Yeah, I remember when I first started meditating, I couldn't do it for like 5 minutes. My brain was like, no, thought, just crazy, And now it's very, you really look forward to it, to have that mental break, clarity. Delta's really moving up. You can see that there. It's tempting to jump in on it here. I mean, it really is. Hit VWAP. You got Delta really moving up. But again, I'm going to learn from my reviews from last night that I need to really try to execute the plan that I come in with in the morning. I mean, it looks like it's going to pop here. Look at the Cumulative Delta. Shoot. But it could be trapping, folks. It could be trapping. I don't know. So yeah, I posted that thing up there, that pin message up there. That's from Lilu. They sent me an email yesterday, I guess, saying they're running. It's just for today. You can get the Lilu Express for $38 just for today. If you've got to use that coupon code. So the Lilu Express is a little different. You've only got 14 days to trade. I think you have to trade 10 of those days 10 of the 14 days you have to trade, you've got to make 6K with a $3,000 drawdown. It's breaking VWAP. Again, guys, I'm waiting for my trade setup. I'm being patient. Being patient. I'm up quite a bit on the week. I've had a decent run this week. So I'm up about $6,000 on the week. So, I'm not too worried. And I'm not showing this to be like braggy or whatever. I'm just showing that I'm not really feeling rushed to jump into anything. We can look at that later if anybody's interested in that, or if nobody cares, which I don't know why anybody would care particularly. Yeah, Nico, I think you're right, Nico. It's like this 4 hour to me just looks like the 4 hour here looks like it wants to do this, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know. This 4 hour candle is going to close in 20 minutes. So, this thing may move without us. Maybe getting a VWAP was the right spot. But I'm still trying to hold my trade setup here until it's no longer in play. Until I feel like price is not going to come back down to 12,500. So it seemed like it almost wanted to drop here and come back down, but she may just go without me. A lot of buying volume coming through on that. Hitting the top of the band on the 1 hour. Hitting the top of the band on the 1 minute, 5 minute. Again, I would need that pre-market to break up here and then try to get in on that LVN pullback or something. The other opportunities that's been providing is when it starts trending to the upside, it's been giving some really nice like 1 minute pullbacks, 5 minute pullbacks, meaning that I wonder if I could find one over here from yesterday. Meaning that, let me see. I can find one from yesterday. Like as it begins to move up, as it begins to move up, like here, you get these really nice 1 minute pullbacks on it that you could take advantage of. We bust through on volume, even little ones like that, or even over here. It kind of tends to crank up and then come back in either to the 20 SMA or the bottom of the band. You could use Williams percent on something like that, where we look for, it starts to break. This is from yesterday. This is the market. I'm not looking at the market right now. It starts to break higher, and then we wait for the Williams percent to become oversold. Like this, we get a trend line break, something like here. Like this is a good example, I guess. I don't like when you go back on the charts and look at setups because it's easy to do that and explain it. But something like that, you get the pullback back at the band on the 1 minute, oversold, counter trend line breaks, you get in and try to ride it up a leg. One of my most frustrating things when I was trading was not frustrating, but one of those things that I hated when I watched like tutorials or I watched other traders, and they were always looking at previous charts and finding cherry picking examples out of it. I still see people doing that. I'm like, that's just not. Or they do like a daily review of the market, and they come through and they explain it perfectly, like they can read it. I'm like, you didn't do any of that when the market was open. When this thing is forming on the right edge of your screen, you didn't catch any of that stuff. But afterwards, it makes perfect sense. It's easy to go back and explain what happened. It's very difficult when you're in it. to read the price, what the price is going to do next. Obviously, that's why this game is so hard. If this was easy, everybody do it. That looks like a buy. Well, my trade setup may not be coming. I could have scalped this thing, but man. Oh, I'm glad you find him helpful, Major Dave. I like doing them. Feel a little crazy sometimes talking to myself, but I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to you guys. Again, I think if we break this high, I think your target's gonna be up here at 750. You just don't want to get too high on it. We do have this little pullback here. I feel like if it would have broken this level, then I would definitely be looking to buy in a pullback. But since we're pushing off of that level, ooh, I don't know. That's LVN, value area high. PMI, thank you, sir. Thank you, PD Legend. We got PMI in 4 minutes. You just sit on your hands for a minute, guys. Just sit on your hands for a minute. Nothing to do right now. I'm going to go fill. Yeah, it's yesterday's high. Thank you. Thank you, STR. Thank you, sir. Pointing that out. It is yesterday's high. I keep looking at that 4 hour and not pointing out that this is yesterday's high. I keep saying pre-market. It's not. It's yesterday's high. Sorry. Thank you. These candles are just so little in here. I just didn't even recognize them. Well, we got PMI coming out in 2 minutes, so that means I'm going to grab some coffee. I'm not taking a trade right now on PMI news. This does look like a nice pullback. PMI wasn't coming out, I'd be looking to buy this, but PMI coming out in a minute, I ain't doing nothing. I'm going to a bunch of earnings coming in at 9:45. Thank you. I'm going to go grab some coffee, fill up my mug, and I'm going to be right back. I'm going to insert an ad here. If you guys don't mind, it just helps support the channel. Again, I got 2 small kids, guys. I got 2 small kids. They eat a lot. I need all the spare change I can get. I'll be right back, guys. What's up, guys? I'm back. Got a little. I hope that ad was not too annoying. Appreciate anybody who sat through the ad and anybody who clicked on the ad. I appreciate even more. I appreciate all you guys. I probably would have skipped it. Yesterday's high. I mean, I think we're gonna break yesterday's high. The thing is, you don't want to get in too high on it. You know, I don't want to get in up here and then it rolls down to here. So 45. I hope nobody got chopped up in that news. Yeah, it came in at 47.5. The consensus was 51.7, so it's not good. It'd be interesting to see what the Dow and the ES are, how they're reacting to it. Here's the ES. 2000 tick chart on the ES. It's up too high for me to buy it right now. Sorry, guys. I like to be able to. AC Delta pop in there. It may rip on this. It may just shrug off that PMI stuff. I think it does want to come up to 13,000. I think it does want to come up to 12,750. And it's, it's tough to buy it up at value area high and, top of the band on the 5, top of the band on the 1 hour. It's just hard to buy it up at that price. And then withstand the drawdown, even if it rips without you. It's just, it's not good trading. We may have to wait for another potential setup. I mean, my buy zone was down here. You can see that little blue box. If you're just joining us, my buy zone was down here at 12,500. I was really waiting for an impulse down there to get in on it. But we may not get it. Now, if we break yesterday's high, then I'm going to be looking to take a long on a pullback. Probably wait for a 1 minute pullback. Those have been really profitable all week. So just being patient today, guys. Just being patient. I watched my videos from this week a little bit last night, and I need to just be more patient. Like yesterday I was down $1,500 just shooting from the hip. So now we're coming to you. Boom. Then we're through yesterday's high. All right. Now we may need to let it churn around up here for a little bit. Oops. Where does it want to go? I think up to the top of this channel. See it here. If you're in a long, if you manage to buy it somewhere down here and you're in a long, I'd be holding up to 750. If you can. I'm trying to find an entry. Looks bullish. Only this 1 minute, 5 minute. I gotta find an entry, guys. Gotta do it. 12,700. I mean, it's ripped. 50 points. Well, yeah, 55 points or so. Let's wait for that 1 minute pullback. You can also see the top of the 4-hour band there at 12,740. I think it's probably going to open up that 750 level. I would like to find a little two-legged pullback maybe on the 500 volume, something like that. May not get it. Comes that second leg, perhaps. Back to value area high. I'm zooming in on this 500 volume because this is I'm looking at this. Coming down now to this trend line, which I didn't draw very well, but I'll try to draw a little bit better. You can see here as price is moving down, Delta is not that aggressive. I'm looking for an entry. We've got this supporting trend line right here, maybe down at 31. Now she's dropping. What did it touch? 33, 30, 31. Through that trend line, hitting the 20 SMA on the 1 minute. We got point of control coming in here. Are these buyers or sellers? I think these are sellers. $20 SMA on the 5 minute at 09. Getting through this LVN. Ugh, all these bulls are getting stopped. Ugh. Hold on to your hat, folks. I don't know if that's a saying. I don't know what that is. It's just me being stupid. Ugh. Wow, the volume profile just shifted. Still sitting on my hands, folks. Jesse be rich, yeah. Boy. Hitting the back of the 20 SMA now in the 1 minute plus this trend line. You got value area high here now. Did you guys notice how the volume profile shifted? This looks like a short. You notice how the volume profile shifted to the downside. We're now oversold on Williams percent. I think. What do I think? I think I'm glad I didn't buy it up here. That's what I think. How you guys doing today? Looks like a move towards VWAP. Yeah, I think VWAP might be opened up. Anything down here is probably opened up. Very, very aggressive day. I'm trying to see if I can get a read on like the 1 minute or the 5 minute to see if any. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just look to see if any like chart pattern has like I feel like completed. I feel like it needs to do one of these. That's what I feel like it needs to do. And then if so, maybe now it's completing that two-legged Two-legged move, ABCD pattern move. And if it can complete that, you know, Delta isn't crazy aggressive to the downside. 80. You know, look at this hourly candle. I think it's weird. 30 minutes, same dealio. I mean, just look how it got rejected down from. This is too steep of a decline, I think. Maybe our trade is going to play out. Maybe our zone's going to come into play here. Being patient, guys. Being patient. Oh, patience, patience, patience. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this profile. I can look at an overnight volume profile, maybe. Where's our buy zone? Way down here. Look where we're at, right near the support area. It's hard to trade. And this is, look at this chop. Chop, 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 chop. It's hard to trade. I think it's going to push down now to 76. 77, 76. Good job, STR. STR, yeah. You probably want to really get a good setup on that and don't let it get too much in your head. Make sure you put your stop somewhere and don't worry about taking the stop. I remember the first time I almost passed an evaluation. I was like 60 bucks away from it and I blew it. I blew the evaluation on the last trade because I would not take my stop. I was like, I refused to accept that I had to take like a $300 loss. I just wanted that winner and I just needed like 2 points or something to get it, and I just got a bad entry. I was like 2-point scalp or 3-point scalp or whatever it was, no problem. And as soon as I entered, it just reversed on me and I didn't take my stop, and that was it. It came over. I blew the evaluation. Look at this hourly candle. This thing's coming down. Look at that hourly. And blew the evaluation, and I learned a lot from that. You can learn a lot from losing as well. This looks like this now has turned bearish. If you guys wouldn't mind giving this video a like, I promise once we get to 50 likes, I stop bugging people. I stop bugging, but I would really appreciate 50 likes. That just nice round solid 50 like number if you get any value out of this at all. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I think the downside's now opened up to our buy zone down here. So the one thing I'll say is that this just looks really bearish. Well, it doesn't actually. It doesn't. I mean, look at Delta; it's still 6,000. We do have that bearish structure. One thing you can do on Delta is you can do like technical analysis on it, like you do on a chart. You know, it's looking like some buyers are coming in here, but you know, it's like what is it hitting? Why are buyers coming in at that point? But there's meat to the upside on it. You got to remember there's also market manipulation. You know, the big financial guys don't want to buy the top of this thing either. So sometimes they'll drive it down so they can buy it at a better price. I'm not saying that's happening here, and I'm not saying I really know what I'm talking about, but I am saying I'm always cautious of real I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to watch this price now. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, STR. It can definitely be frustrating. I wouldn't give up. I wouldn't give up quite yet. I read an interesting book by I can't remember who actually wrote it, but it was about trading psychology. And it was the same, you know, a lot of the same mentality of, you know, just getting so frustrated, fed up with the market, calling it quits forever. I'm never trading again, throwing everything, you know, done with it. And then within, you know, 3 months, you're back on the charts. My suggestion would be to size down and do bigger plays. I don't know, or you know, just try to figure out, you know, what you're most profitable at, and um, not worry. Yeah, you can do micros. Yeah, micros. The problem with the one thing I find with micros is I get profitable with micros, and then I want to switch back to minis like immediately, and then that's when it's hard to go from, you know, making um you know, $60-$70 on a micro in a day, and then you're like, well, I'm just gonna do minis, I'm gonna make $600-$700 in a day. But that psychological switch from, you know, tens to hundreds to thousands is a big psychological switch. Yeah, it's made to this 20 SMA on the hourly, which is providing it some support here. It's kind of deciding what it wants to do. We got our buy zone down here, just hanging out. Should we short it down to the buy zone? I don't know. Now it feels like it's too oversold. But pushing down lower, making new lows here. So my thought on the tick chart and volume chart, they're super similar. I mean, you could use either one, to be honest with you. I use the volume chart. I find the volume chart just to be a little more reliable in terms of like trends. Sometimes, like for instance, I'll draw a trend line on the 1 minute, and I'll draw the same trend line on the 500 volume, and I notice that price respects the 500 volume trend line more than the 1 minute or the 500 tick. And that's just been my experience when I first started trading, so I just stuck with the 500 volume. I think I heard some other trader who's a big order flow trader talk about volume bars, and he kind of got me interested in it, and it's just what I use at this point. I mean, I could probably run the same experiment now and get a little different results. And sometimes I'll look at the tick chart. Primarily, I'm looking over here because this is an overnight volume profile. You can see it up here, ETH, extended trading hours. So I'll be looking over here really to be looking at the volume profile. But you could use either one, I think, pretty interchangeably. I just have the volume chart up here because I use the volume profile. It's, you know, it's the volume theme going on. But again, I feel like price respects the trend lines that I draw on the 500 volume a little bit more than on the 1 minute time-based charts or tick charts or whatever. Tick charts aren't time-based, but the tick chart. So I just use the 500 volume. It goes with my theme. We can see here now how the band on the 1 minute's opened up right to our buy zone. You see that over there on the 1 minute? So we may wait to see if we can actually execute our trade as designed. See if it works. I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I'll feel better about myself taking the actual trade plan rather than buying the top of this thing. Good point, Design Knob. Good point. Yep, Abdella, I agree. I think the ES is probably a little bit more calm. I don't know if calm's the right word. ES moves a little bit more constructively. I don't know. NQ can be pretty erratic, but I'm addicted to the NQ. I'm addicted to it. I have a problem. No, I used to trade when I first started trading futures, I did trade the ES. I've talked about this before. The ES is less volatile, absolutely. I've traded, we can look at the ES actually to see how it's doing. When I first started trading, I did trade the ES, and I started trading the NQ because during the summer months, the ES was just so slow. It was so slow. I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't take it. This looks like a short on the ES, right? Look at these. Look at the signals that the ES is providing. A couple of bearish candles up at the 20 SMA. Looks like it might want to roll down again. It kind of confirms my price thought on the NQ that we're going to want to come down to this buy zone that we've got set up. I used to trade it, but it was just moving so slow. And then I used to have the NQ up on another chart just to watch the price action on that to kind of correspond it with the ES. And I was like, geez, that thing's really moving. Like that's a lot of opportunity there. And I started trading the NQ, and I've just never gone back. And I watch the NQ. You know, I feel like you should have one instrument, one product up, and really get to know that, how it moves, its patterns and everything. And I just started trading the Nasdaq. So if you trade the ES, you're probably, you know, that's great. You know, trade what works for you. I just like the Nasdaq. I don't know. It's also, I think, because like during like the Trump boom era of stocks, you know, growth stocks, tech stocks were really ripping around much more aggressively than S&P 500 and stuff. So, yeah, that's just what I've been trading. Looking at the 1 minute, we got the 20 SMA and the 1 minute coming up in here. Right up there at that red line. I bet that pinches in to correspond with that support level. You got VWAP up here at 92. Can it get up through VWAP and then we start to move back up into these prices? Didn't quite come down to our buy zone, did it? Coming into an LVN here on the weekly volume. Could be some resistance for it. See what it wants to do up here at the 20 SMA on the 1 minute. See if it pins through it or if we close above it. Anybody do that Lilu Express coupon code up there? Lilu Express sent me that coupon code, that CEVUAJGL coupon code that's pinned up there. You can get into Lilu Express for 38 bucks. Today only. Today only. Well, what I will say is that I wanted this to drop one more leg down into this zone, and then I was going to buy it. Buyers may have already stepped up here. Nice, it's Dave. Congrats, man. That's awesome. Yeah, this week's been a great week to trade. A great week to trade this week. You just want to make sure you want to get in the right prices. I think that's what's been burning a lot of people, is getting in just too high on it. So that's why we're trying to be patient today and wait for it to come down to the 12,520 level. And she almost came there. She was about 20 points away. She almost did. She almost came down to my press, but just sitting on my hands still, guys. If you need, I don't need to trade this thing except to entertain, which I don't know. I don't think it's very entertaining to see somebody take bad trades. You see that trend line? It broke here and then actually made a lower low. So, I'm not really beating myself up for not trading the break of this trend line, because you can see here as it broke right there. We came then and made a lower low. You would have been stopped out on that break, thinking that would come to VWAP, only for now to come up to VWAP, and you're just kicking yourself. Be patient. You're down $2.74. Vernon, I think that's pretty good, man. That's all right. That's doable. Tiny little pullback up to 08. It's like a tiny little, this is like a little fish. This is the big fish. This is the largemouth bass. This is the little bluegill. Oh, that's kind of boring watching this thing. It's like we're ranging, boys. Fail breakout there. Holy smokes. At least you didn't buy it at 68, trying to hold it up, which looks like what it wanted to do. I mean, it still may want to come up to 753. There's still meat on this thing, though, guys. This is just kind of the choppy area right here. It's only 9:15 for crying out loud. This thing's only been open for 46 minutes. Yeah, I think it might turn around to the upside. We can see point of control just came in there. I don't know, guys. Sitting on our hands is hard, but it's better than losing money. Well, guys, sorry this isn't more entertaining here, but just really isn't much to do. I mean, you could try to buy this break of 11, take it up to value very high, but you got this low volume node right here. I don't know. Buy 17, take it up to 45. Now I can tell I'm just forcing a trade to take a trade. You know, like when you're looking at it like that, when you're like, maybe this will work, maybe it won't. Just let me get in on something. I do, Major Dave. I do long-term investments. I've got a whole portfolio that I do. So I do like I quote unquote longer term stuff. I usually hold for anywhere from a few days to a couple weeks. That's my longer term stuff, stocks. And I'm looking at news, like what's driving things. So sometimes I'll look for like frivolous negative news that can drive a stock price down that really has nothing to do with their value as a company, and I'll buy it as on that impulse to the downside on stupid news, and then wait for it to recover in price and take profit. That's one kind of stock strategy I use. Another one is on earnings. Sometimes I'll buy earnings, like buy a stock like Tesla. I bought knowing that earnings were coming out. It's a bit of a gamble. I did the same thing with Netflix, but I bought Netflix after earnings got released when it got dumped. I bought Netflix on that big pump down that it had, and I got burned on that one. So it doesn't always work out, but um, you know, I got Amazon earnings coming out next week. Um, Apple, I think Apple's got earnings coming out next week. I'm not a big Apple fan though. I just don't. I'm not a big guy in Apple. So I have bought Apple before, but I do not. I don't actively look at Apple. Amazon though looks like a good deal. And looks like this thing's about ready to roll, I think. Um, yeah, so I don't have any stock plays for you at the moment. Amazon, maybe, if you're interested. I'm cautious of giving people real like stock plays. I also did some crypto. I got on my Ethereum trade 2 days ago, I think. You guys know that I was into Ethereum there for a little bit. I don't even know what Ethereum is at right now. Of course, it's probably gonna be up. I mean, it's up higher than when I got out of it, so that kind of stinks. Keeps moving higher. But I made about 40% on Ethereum in 2 weeks, so that's not too bad. I'm gonna be kicking myself when Ethereum's at like 100 grand. I should have just held it. Should have just held it. Now we're rolling here. I'm just taking I can tell I'm getting bored. I'm just taking these little scalps. Not a good place to be. Let's look at that 1 minute, how it's going to close. That's the thing. I use hotkeys. You know what hotkeys are? They're just keyboard commands that'll get you in and out of trades. So you can do, I did a manual hotkey entry there, and then I did my exit, but I saw price down here like at 70, and I hit the hotkey to close, and look where it filled me, 72. So I lost 2.5 points on a hotkey fill, which always sucks, but you know, they're market orders. Actually, yeah, that one was a market. My Control Z gets me out at market. So, you know. Yeah, man, STR I would take off. This doesn't. Yeah, you know, I think maybe something might set up in a little bit, but right now this is just in the chop zone. I mean, you know, I set it in pre-market. I took that stupid little scalp right there. I got lucky on it. I can tell I'm just getting bored. You know, we're in the bands here on the 1 hour, right at the 20 SMA, right at VWAP. You know, this is all going to be choppy. We had the false breakout to the upside. This looked like there should have been some continuation on that. We've come down again. I'd be interested in buying it down here. You know, I think you either want to buy it here or you want to sell it up here. I would be more interested in buying it down here. Or if it broke yesterday's high again, maybe trying to finally get that pullback on a 1 minute if it started to trend up. But right now it's just looking pretty choppy. This looks like it wants to pull down to 58. No, I don't, Major Dave. I sure don't. I've never done credit spreads. I wouldn't even know where to start. How do you do the hotkey entry on exits on Ninja? It's pretty easy. You just set up your hotkeys. I can give you a link. Trading with hotkeys, Ninja Trader 8. Here you go. I'll send you this link. It gives you how to do it. Yeah. I don't want to start configuring my thing because sometimes it resets the volume profiles and then it's just like it just takes forever for the volume profiles to regenerate. This thing looks like it's going to pull down again. You can see cumulative delta here dropping lower. You see that? See how it's dropping lower even though we're in this little bit of consolidation. It's got room on the bands to come down in the value area. I would expect it to break again down to 50. I don't know why I'm not trading it because I just don't feel like it, to be honest with you. I'm still waiting for my stupid trade to play out. Going down to 12,500. I'm taking that long, baby. Doesn't seem like it wants to do it right now, though, does it? I appreciate the 50 likes, guys. That's my sweet spot number. I'm going to feel good about when I log off. Looks like it's going to drop here. Well, guys, I'm getting kind of mentally drained watching this thing take little ticks around. So I'm probably going to jump off. And just go kind of splash some water on my face or something. And let's see if we get that drop down to 20. If we get it drop down to 20 here, I'm going to buy it. And then I'm going to add as it comes to 500 if it keeps dropping. And my stop's going to be at 80. So down here. So those are going to be my levels to look out for. I'll record the trade if it sets up. If it doesn't set up, I'm going home with $60. Going home. I am home. I'm gonna walk away with 60 bucks for the day. But I can't stand this chop. I can feel myself wanting to take something, and that's just dangerous. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Appreciate you guys joining. Check back the channel later, see if I actually ended up taking a trade this afternoon or later this morning. I don't know. See if it drops down to that level. But this is just the choppy mess. Have a good weekend, guys. I hope it's cool wherever you are. I know lots of places all over the place are going to be boiling hot, including here. So I appreciate it. STR, if I spoke Portuguese, I would say adios. I don't know how you say that in Portuguese, but I hope you guys have a great weekend and stay safe trading out there. I don't know. Check out the Discord. I'll be checking the Discord after I get off of here. If you guys have any suggestions for the channel or anything like that, let me know. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy. Peace.